We bought a house in Bulgaria online without ever looking at it. Sight unseen, not knowing what it was really going to look like, not knowing the region, the area, nothing. We left the UK out of desperation, but also out of hope. A desire to pursue a dream of an off-grid lifestyle, owning our own home and having our own land. At the time, we knew very little about Bulgaria, and that's exactly how this story starts. We bought the property online and risked everything with our two children, Leo and Faye. And my wife Jordan had worked various jobs back in the UK. She was a massage therapist for Lush, and she'd spent a big part of her life in sales and retail. I ran a massage company myself, worked in the fitness industry, and before all of that I had 9 years experience as a CNC engineer. We'd always talked about leaving the UK. Just conversations really. Contemplating the idea, throwing it around, never with any real intention of actually doing it. That was until the pandemic hit. Suddenly, life felt constrained, confined, controlled. And on top of that, there was the constant stress of trying to get onto the UK property ladder. Something that just felt completely impossible for young families like ours. Then one day, Jordan bumped into a friend of a friend while she was out, and they mentioned they'd bought a property online in rural Bulgaria for £3,000. That was it. We were hooked. We started scrolling Rightmove, looking at properties, dreaming a little, and then we came across a guy called Joe, who at the time was selling properties in the southeastern region of Bulgaria. We took a risk, a proper gamble. He sent us a video of the house, we watched it on our phones and made a decision there and then to buy it, using the money that had been returned to us after our wedding was cancelled on 3 separate occasions due to the pandemic. We'd saved for years for that money. And looking back now, one big day versus a whole new life felt like a good investment. We've always struggled financially, it's always been tough. Neither of us came from polished, financially secure upbringings. It was rough, and it was a constant effort to make ends meet. Even now, it still is in many ways. But owning this house has put us in a much better position than we ever were before. And yes, the house, the £7,000 house, that's where the real story begins. When we arrived, we'd hoped to park our caravan on the land. That idea died instantly. The place was completely overgrown. The land had taken back what was once its own. And the house was overwhelmingly bad. Scary actually, a complete wreck. And having absolutely no experience in renovating only made it more daunting. I mean, where do you even start? The first thing we had to do was get someone in with a tractor to clear as much of the land as possible, just so we could function. That wasn't something we'd budgeted for, and it cost us about £200. Then we realised we had serious problems. Electricity, only one socket worked, and all the wiring was completely unsafe. Water, every pipe had burst, meaning we had no mains water at all. So there were 2 kids, 40-degree heat, no electricity, no water, and a caravan sitting in the baking sun. It became very apparent that was an understatement. We had to get our act together fast. We had 2 kids, no jobs, only about £4,000 left as a float, and absolutely no clear plan. To most people, this was madness. What are you doing? But no risk, no reward, right? We were confident in our ability to find work and create something. We documented everything, every day, for social media and our long format videos online. I started working as a massage therapist in a nearby town, leaning on past experience and building connections through gyms and fitness centres. Jordan found work in admin and eventually landed a bigger role as a social media manager for UK-based companies. Now listen, we didn't get rich, but we did get breathing space. And alongside all of that, we were learning how to renovate, working, raising 2 children and trying to build a whole new life at the same time. Exhausting, overwhelming, scary as hell. But we did it. The first proper win was water. We started using an outside tap to shower. I did some small patch repairs to make it usable, and then we built an outdoor shower using stone that we found from the land, a garden hose, and a tree. The caravan didn't come with one, so we had to improvise. It wasn't ideal, the water was freezing. It was 42 degrees outside, and being clean mattered more at the time. Next, we cleared an area under the walnut tree and built a decking to get us out of the mud. It gave us extra living space, somewhere for the kids to play, and a little tiny bit of normality. For our first ever decking build, it wasn't perfect, but it was good enough. Then we moved on to installing a proper indoor shower in the smaller outbuilding. It already kind of had one, as creepy as it was. And just to add to that, we didn't have a toilet either. The only toilet on the land was an old outdoor one that had been completely taken over by the elements. So we were stuck using the caravan toilet for a while. I do not miss that thing. With zero plumbing experience, we installed a boiler and replaced all the old rusty burst pipes with new PPR plastic plumbing pipe, which is commonly used here in Bulgaria. A bit of tiling, a lick of paint, and suddenly we had a working shower. That was our first big renovation win. Then came the toilet problem. There's no sewage system here, so we built our own septic tank. We were broke, so we used reclaimed materials wherever we could. Old bricks from collapsing buildings, anything that we could salvage. A lot went wrong, including the tank tipping because I built a terrible foundation. A hard lesson learned, but we fixed it, saved it, finished it, and just like that, we had a flushing toilet. Then it was time for the house. The inside was something else, but winter was coming, and about 4 months in, we had no choice but to make a move. We patched the roof using whatever tiles we could find on the land, replacing broken ones and redoing the ridge tiles. No experience, just online tutorials and a lot of trial and error. The roof still isn't new. It's a huge expense we can't afford yet, but it has stopped the worst of the leaks. Then we built steps so we could safely get inside the house. 2 days work, first time ever, and somehow they came out pretty well. A massive achievement. After that, we ripped out the ceilings and put new ones in. It was messy, but with all the water damage, starting fresh just felt safer. And then, electrics. I know, I can hear you. What are you doing? Leave it to the professionals. But listen, when you're poor and your options are limited, you do what you have to do, and honestly, I loved it. I found it therapeutic. When everything switched on and worked, the whole family was overjoyed. And it was another skill learned. At that point, we had water, a toilet, a shower, a mostly dry roof, electrics, ceilings. Was it perfect? No. Was it livable? Kind of. Was it ours? Absolutely. From there, we kept going. We built a bathroom with a partition wall, added another toilet, and installed a big bath, probably the only one in the village like it. We built a fireplace by renovating an old cupboard and using the chimney above it. We knocked through walls to join rooms together so the house could finally be fully enclosed. We rendered walls, bricked up doors we didn't need. We installed floors and underfloor heating. And years later, with help from good people who supported us, we converted the cellar into another bedroom. That room has changed everything for us. When you're a family of 4 all living in one bedroom, it has a real strain on all of you. Along the way, we also started building the life we came here for. Animals, pigs, chickens, pens, coops, gardens. After 2 years of failed attempts, we finally cracked a no-dig garden system. We've learned so much. We've laughed, we've cried, we've bled for this house, for this land, for this dream. Talking about it is overwhelmingly emotional. But it's real. We're still fighting for it, still figuring out how to get to the next job, the next bit of money, the next stage. Will it ever be finished? Who knows? But we won't stop. And as long as we keep fighting for it, this old abandoned Bulgarian farmhouse will become something people only dream of owning. And somewhere along the way, we found ourselves too. So if you're new here, if you like this kind of content, if you want to see a family come from nothing and striving to achieve everything, come and join us. This is our journey. We are the Vi family, and this is From Bournemouth to Bulgaria. Hey guys, if you just watched this video, we just want to say a massive thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to our story. One of the best ways that you guys can support us is to head on over to our Patreon support page, where your contributions help us make videos just like this one. You can find the link to our Patreon in the description below, or pinned to the top of the comment section. And thank you to all of our existing subscribers, and to those of you that are new here, welcome on board.